jeez. Oh, shit. Not something I wanted to show. Am I live? Yes. Right. Hi again. It's me. Hopefully this will work properly now. I'm apologizing, I guess, for it going down again. I wasn't expecting that to happen. And I'm really annoyed that it did happen during a stream, and it's always annoying when you try and contact your internet provider and they don't do anything to kind of sort it. So, yeah. It's frustrating. And that is where I'm at with all this stuff. So, hopefully we can last a little longer. But I won't be able to tell. Especially considering we've got 3 more games after this one. And I think we're only going to cover 1 more after this purely because of how unstable we are right now. But hey, where are we in this game? 14 minutes on the clock. 23 to 22. So gold's relatively even. 4 grubs to 2. Drake's split. Kills slightly ahead. This is looking like a possible play. Hawk's gonna come through. Depth charge. Yeah. Camille's just forced a retreat due to the CC chain. That's just GenG playing on 2 fronts. They're gonna lose top lane tier 1, but they get bot lane tier 1 first. They get a lot of chip onto mid lane tier 1. That's 4 plates to 7. Jeez. You don't actually realize how many plates BLG got there. And that's kind of evened out the score, to say the least. And honestly, that's pretty worth it. Now they've got Herald, so they can play on a couple of fronts here. If they've taken 7 plates out of the 15, so half of them, really, the potential to kill a tower is quite high with that Herald. It just won't be mid. It'll probably be, well, it's got to be bot lane tier 1 that's really low. So they probably will try and aim for that. As Cedric comes onto Destiny TF, the pick's going to come through as Shun gets caught. And GenG not going to overstay that welcome. They're going to lose the bot lane tier 1 finally. Expect now. Hey, it's the Void Grubs. They do get them. But essentially, expect GenG to kind of make a play towards something while BLG drop Herald, because that's kind of the telltale thing to happen. Obviously, a minute 30 until the next Drake. I think that'll be the big contest where Herald gets dropped. And what was it yesterday? They dropped Herald way too early before an objective, and they got punished. Here, it's a good flash. Shun can't flash the wall, so he falls. That's essentially the play. That's how you explain it. It's a good flash over by Lens to also trap the Sedge and not allow her to dash away. He played that well. But personally speaking, GenG right now are in a good state, especially if they're able to pick off the opposition. Just looking at the map for wards, and realistically speaking, there isn't too many on the map from GenG. Only a couple in their top half, but even then, there's nothing towards... Don't freeze. Okay, there's nothing towards this bottom side, which is pretty interesting, as Drake will spawn... No! Don't do this to me. Okay. Is this just broadcast being weird, or is my internet just going kooky? It's hard to tell. So, yeah, let's just continue to watch. Drake started, GenG focusing it. They haven't got too many wards. They've got double ward in there, which is kind of weird. It's going to spot out the Ari who's dashing forward. They've got the pick here. BLG find Chovy. Secured Drake pretty clean. They've also got Harold, so there's a lot of gold in the back pockets of BLG right now. They're chasing forward. It's a big knock-up from Lens, and he gets the pullback, but it's just the overwhelming amount of members of BLG just plowing through GenG, who lost Chovy pretty early into that play. Now Harold crashes. They're gonna possibly take it to another lane. Never mind. We don't talk about what Harold just did. It doesn't really get to do much more than that. A couple of souls picked up here for Pays, but hey. That Ash arrow, pretty big. It tags Chovy because no one's around to protect him. Sedge goes through. Ari lends the Q to burst her out. And yeah, that's a clean execute. Lehens then is forced to run away. He's kind of the meat shield for the team. As, to be honest, the TF plays a little bit too hard and aggressive. Didn't need to go that far forward to try and do anything there. Like, trade backs probably on the mind of Keen, but didn't need to really trade back. That's kind of a yikes in terms of damage. Anyway, damage is not a concern, especially now. Shockwave gets flashed out of by... Wow, that's a 1-for-1 trade and a half. Ash Arrow splits the outrights, overwrites... the overheads, whatever it's called. But will the Spectral more? Yes, it will. As the continuation play, Heartbreaker out by the Viego. Lens forced to hook to safety. And GenG being bullied out their own jungle. Hextech ultimate in channel, but a perfectly timed stopwatch. Will... Please let me watch this. I'm trying to do something. No. Don't go down. Anything but this. Broadcast work. Okay, it's just the broadcast not playing for me. Because that has refreshed and is playing. Okay, so Heartbreaker over the wall. Gets... Canyon to safety. Hexite Ultimatum plus Sedgel forces Stopwatch out from Lens, who's just being ran down. That was weird, wasn't it? Now GenG turning back. Destiny comes through as they manage to pick off Yash, but the face call pulls to safety the support. This is the power of Callista. The safety that it provides to supports is just huge. And so the joke about justice for supports kind of being showcased here. Anyway. Let's just keep an eye on this. I'm intrigued to see how badly my stream's doing right now, because it feels weird. Gonna say it. I've dropped a few frames there as well. Okay. Anyway. Good dodging from Keen to avoid the Arias. That's a massive pick. Gonna be caught as on falls. That's no more Ash. No more slows. No more threaded volleys. No more anything that's big and powerful from her. And that is a nice pick. Baron's on the table. It's not enough of a pick to go force that. However, considerations possibly being made. This top lane tier 1 probably the target for GenG. Realizing they have the man advantage. The gold lead in the favor of BLG. And they're going to be content with playing this. Good ward over that wall. Stops Bin going for a play. As Lens gets chunked quite a lot. Looking at his build, he is the farmer, but he doesn't have that much in terms of resistance to what Knight can do. So that is pretty good for BLG. The Lens is not itemized just yet for him. Wee woos. Oh, jeez. My PC is either A, struggling really badly with the stream, or it's just not a good quality stream. And this is the official broadcast. Anyway, Sedgwick goes what through, hits onto Keen, but they're focusing. What is going on? I'm going to take a pause here. Why am I randomly dropping frames? Feels so awkward. Is it because I'm installing something on Steam? Don't see anything. I'm gonna shut it down. It's weird. Like, it feels so awkward. Like these frame drops randomly during the video. Anyway. Let's focus on this fight. As Keen's dropping, Shockwave comes out a bit too late as Chovy falls. BLG dominant in this game so far. And they're splitting their attention. 3 for the Baron, the big smiter and the render. And they've just left the top laner and the mid laner solo lanes to pick it off. They can TP up here if needs be, which Bin's just going to do. Knight sitting in mid, forcing the wave to crash. And yeah, that, to be honest, is pretty worthwhile. Baron's going to be secured. BLG happily in control of this one. And we get to watch this again. The initial play is interesting. As the Sedgwick goes through, the Ashel then gets thrown onto Lens, and down goes the engage. We were saying he isn't that tanky, and he just gets deleted. Ari can dash through and just be a menace. And the 2 members that stayed from GenG just get deleted. It's a clean, crisp fight from BLG, even if the initial engage looked a bit awkward with how the Sedgwick was used. So, Baron being utilized. Going to be a push in top side. Bot wave's already pushing. And so, as a whole, mid lane is the focus. It's really awkward to play a siege game like 20 minutes when there's still a mid lane tier 1 standing. So this makes it really easy for GenG to defend. And they're not really afraid of losing much because it's still open. They can be content with giving it up. Who's got static shift? Oh, it's TF. Don't see TF with static shift too much anymore. But hey. It's in his build. Might as well grab it now. Get a bit of wave clear as it's not ideal, I think. Anyway. Baron for another minute and 5. Enchanted Crystal Arrow's gonna tag up onto. This is massive shockwave comes through, and GenG corralled into the choke point, getting chunked quite low, but so are GenG. And Ari lands a charm onto Lens, who's just able to stand in front of them. It's a lot of chunk damage out, but BLG content. They do damage, force people back, and get the tower off the back of this. So a little bit more gold into their pockets. And yeah, to be honest, the items are starting to pay dividends here. And I'm already looking back at the bot lane, at the supports. You've got Frozen. No. Don't do this to me. Okay. Why is this not able to play for a long period of time? Asher's going to go and hit the Viego. What is going on? I think my PC needs a refresh. Because that just dropped like 10 loads of frames. I'm already sitting at 2 bars. What is happening? Like, what is happening? I'm seriously trying here. And I might just have to flip an end stream. Because I can't physically utilize the internet right now. I've been on the network this entire time. And not... Okay. Please tell me I'm now on my network. Properly wired in. Apparently it wasn't plugged in fully. Hopefully that helps. It appears to be. But it does seem a little bit laggy. Oh, apparently YouTube's not receiving any more frames. Is this working now? Like, do you see my mouse? I can't tell. But I'm gonna try. I'll get through this. So bot side push is coming through. Been happy content. Baron on the backs of BLG. And this game is looking pretty easy to follow through here for BLG because the way they've been targeting people, throwing out this Ashar on cooldown, they're certainly looking to pick off members. And I mean, this Nautilus isn't really that strong. Finally got his second item, the Hollow Radiant, so he's going to have a bit of magic resist. Bit of damage as he goes in as well. So he can kind of deal with Knight a little better now. But to be honest, on a retreat, he's very easy to catch out now with the Ashe just landing constant threaded volleys. The CDR she's got for herself pretty high. and she's able to do a lot more work comparative to Nautilus in a short period of time, or a longer drawn out fight, I should say, because Nautilus can do a lot in a few seconds, but he could also only do a few things in a few seconds. Over a long period of time, that's probably a lot less than what the Ashe can do. And Ashe, typically speaking, very good at controlling sectors of maps with her threaded volley, obviously, with her hawk shot, with the umbral glaive in the back pocket. Vision for BLG is pretty solid right now. Now, arguably speaking, GenG will want to kind of get up towards this objective as the Ashe is thrown out. Massive chunk from the Q of the Callista. Fate Skull's used a little early by BLG, but they're still continuing to make the play. Depth charge used, but Lehend is on his own. His team's not really there to back him up as Keen steps forward, but the Hextech ultimatum is charged. Senna is down, and BLG are just running through GenG. They get 2 big picks, and they look to go straight to the Baron. Luckily for GenG, they don't lose their jungler, so they could, in theory, contest this, but do you really want to? I don't think so, because we weren't really able to notice it due to the pandemonium of the stream, but Soul was secured by BLG, so they're going to be content with that. Ashe are thrown out yet again. They're hunting for Canyon, who's only in a battle for his own blue. So he manages to secure that for the team. But right now, Baron number 2's on the backs of BLG. Anyway, this is called Ashe being an absolute menace, chunking away at you. And she does work. And you're thinking, GenG, you kind of have to back away here. Stay this out from Keen to avoid the Sedge ult. But to be honest, Lehend was then forced to go in, and he falls. No more peel for this Senna. She gets jumped on and killed off by Bin. It's a good executive play from BLG, and you're playing off the back of this Ashe, who is really strong and is showing why she is banned so much during this MSI. Now, playing on 2 fronts are BLG. Going to secure the mid lane tier 3. Inhibitor probably will fall in a couple of seconds. Just looking at the top wave, it's stacking for them, but it's quite a bit away from getting into the base. It needs a little bit more of a touching from BLG. However, they're chipping away at the Nexus Tower. Cannon minions doing work. They're clearing out GenG's minions and just allowing the cannons to free fire in. Knight and Bin being an absolute menace. Finally, Bin's backing over towards this top wave. So, they may be trying to sync this one up, all things considered, to make a play. But, bot side, the Ashe arrow thrown out. It doesn't hit anyone. But, look at the damage already put down onto GenG. It's already quite a bit. But now, the awkward situation of being pulled around the map is being happened as some members have to go topside to stop Bin's push. Now they have to go bot side to stop the rest of BLG's push. Mid's open, so you're going to have to defend against a constant flow of super minions into your base. And when that's happening, it's so hard to kind of play through this state of the game that I'm actually surprised BLG only got one inhibitor off the back of it. They didn't sink the last wave, or they didn't get to the top wave quick enough to sink it with the previous or the first two waves of the initial push from BLG on the bot side. So realistically speaking, GenG kind of happy that it's only a inhibitor in the mid lane they've lost, and it's nothing really else. They've weathered the storm of a couple of Baron buffs now, and the Senna, just looking at her, got quite a few stacks in her back pocket, but complete darkness in this bottom side of the map. Why am I highlighting that? Well, Elder is up pretty goddamn soon. 19 seconds until that one. And you know, why is this so? I just apparently dropped a few more frames. Nice. My PC really does not enjoy this. Anyway, fight is beginning, and the first kill of play goes over to BLG. A massive shockwave out from GenG though, and they're looking to respawn back. But still, Knight free firing, so's the Ash, and all of BLG somehow making it out of there alive. Double TP into the base. GenG lose game 1. BLG just demolish them on the way to the Elder Pit. And you've got to admit it, it's a clutch game out from BLG. All things considered, the late game was looking like it would be GenG's with the Senna, with the scaling, but they outplayed them. They punished with this Ash pick and did a lot of work with it. So that's the first game done. The intention was 2 more, but I think I do need to refresh